just sitting here chilling and talking. So you already know by now that Branson is definitely kicking in. Shout out to 50. What's the question?
Mr. Buku,
Yes, ma'am.
is it okay while you're in a relationship to consistently talk on the phone, FaceTime, text, telecommunicate with any of your exes?
You asking me, is that wrong?
Yeah.
Like I said, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about getting up and, I don't think going out to eat is no harm in that. And then that also depends on what type of woman you got. If you got a real jealous, shout out to all the jealous maniac chicks who will kill you and the bitch. What I'm saying is, it depends on what type of chick you got. If you got that kind of chick that's really on that or don't trust you or she's emotionally scarred from, because remember, I live by these principles. I'm not just guessing these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm answering you actually based upon how the question makes me feel and how I evaluate the situation based upon things I've already been through. So I don't think anything is wrong with it. It just depends on what we're talking about. Because I think a woman's going to do that regardless whether I feel that it's cool or not. Because women only going to let you know what they want you to know.
Who scarred you?
Who scarred me?
Yes.
It's not,
Scarface.
I don't think, yeah, I do got a scar.
I seen it as I called you
Yeah.
Scarface.
And she's serious too. It ain't so much about who scarred me. As the world evolves and things change and you try things and you take risks, you start to realize certain things doesn't. Just because you may possess something doesn't necessarily mean it belongs to you. If you understand what I mean by that.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's not so much of what scarred me, it's just the simple fact that I've been through so many different things in my life to where now I'm able to identify what I like and what I don't. And I'm not mad, I don't hold any grudges. A lot of people I still talk to that I probably shouldn't. Shout out to the people I shouldn't talk to and I still pick up my goddamn phone. But I'm just saying, like, I personally don't believe that there's anything wrong talking in male or female. Nothing's wrong with you talking to your ex or whatever based upon either A, what type of nigga you got, because you do got some crazy niggas out here too that'll blow up your goddamn car and then go to that nigga job who over there you talking to and fuck him up and his supervisor. Back to you. What I'm saying to you, right, is you have to be very careful.
You can't play with people's heart.
Yeah, you can't play with people's intelligence and mind.
Period.
People ain't got no heart. They lose the love once they lose you. And that's just real, nigga. That's just real news. You know what I mean? So you never know what the hell you dealing with. Because you got, shout out to all the chemically unbalanced people who really need help out here. Because some people will go a little further than others.
That's
You thinking this person's scared to
would
get
never
shot,
do that.
and they're probably not afraid to get shot, so they're climbing through your window because you're not answering the phone. But what I'm saying is, when you ask me a question like that, I'm just very skeptical in that area because I don't want to. Women do these little tricks and these tic-tac-toe tricks where your bitch could still be cool with your ex-bitch and you didn't even know that they're talking just to see what you're going to say. So you have to watch these things. So when you ask me, am I scarred? Yes, I might be emotionally scarred from my past, but I'm still working on me. But I'm able to identify what's what and what I don't like versus what I do. So,
which is still progress.
I'm just taking one step forward to leave yesterday behind. I'm not living in, I'm emotionally scarred from my past,
but you're not living in the past.
I'm not living for yesterday. I'm living for tomorrow. I'm not even living for today. What we're doing today won't. You understand where I'm going? So I have to kind of keep myself grounded in that sense, specifically when you're talking about relationships, sex, women, blah, 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 blah. Because these things can not only take you for a loop, but they can scar you as well. So I have to kind of take it in that sense and say, well,
Well, I'll tell you.
What?
There's individuals that still have hearts. Okay.
I don't believe it. The Tin Man did.
Okay. The Tin Man did.
Shout out to the Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man did not have a heart.
He didn't have a heart.
Nope.
He didn't have a heart. But he needed one. And the only reason why he needed it is because he needed it for himself.
Right. Well, I think he needed to know how to love.
How to love.
Right.
And that is self-alignment. He had everything else besides self.
Right.
Self-love.
Self-love. Shout out to
Literally.
people who have self-love.
Period. So with that said, there's still people out here with a heart. There's still people out here. You just shouted me out. There needs to be women like you, Lay, with the transparency and the shit.
Because I believe that the honesty if you want men to tell the truth, I think women have to lead the example of telling the truth first. Although we're dealing with a lot of emotional dudes, but it'll also bring it full circle to the point where men will start to realize you sitting here lying to this chick, but she's being honest with you.
It's you.
So
If I'm honest with you.
so wait a minute. So who's in here getting lost in the sauce? Is it the chick or the dude? I would say it's the dude, because you're not recognizing that this chick is being real with you, but at the same time she still want to fuck with you, but she's more man than you because she's allowing you to understand.
She's a real nigga.
You see where I'm
She's
going?
a real nigga because she's still keeping it real with you regardless of what you do.
And that's why I said that. I think it needs to be more women that are not afraid to tell men the truth of what they feel, what they think, what they want to live. And I think that will push the envelope for men such as myself to be more honest about things, because at the end of the day, I don't think men lie because they're ashamed. I think men lie because they don't, because women, there's not too many women that can accept the truth and deal with it. It's like, well, oh, he doing that and said this. Well, why he make me feel this way, but yet he's telling me this? So I think there's a lot of resistance with women to the point where they want to be like a woman such as yourself, to be honest and tell the truth and do all these other things, but they're so programmed to the way things are to where it's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to share you with two other chicks, and I'm not trying to sit here and watch you talk to your ex over the phone. But when you get an opportunity to meet someone that's on that level, it frees yourself from the conflict of wondering if it's happened if you already know.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
happy with knowing what it is versus
Trying to figure it
being
out.
concerned
I'm crazy. I'm
if-
in the house. I'm texting you. You're probably with them. You're not answering the phone. You're hanging up the phone. Now you got to make an excuse later when you see them. How come you weren't answering the phone? You getting calls at 2:30, 4:30, 5:30. It's your cousin. It's your mama. It's not your goddamn cousin. They know it's not your cousin. They always know it's not your cousin. That's your favorite line.
What?
That's my cousin.
That is not my favorite line.